Hello everybody, today we are having a look at another route suggestion. This time it is the Great Eastern Main Line from London to Ipswich. This was most recently suggested by Diamonda, and I sort of wanted to make a video on this myself, but now I've got an excuse to. This is one of the most requested routes, and it more or less fully follows the Train Sim Classic version of this route, except it's fully modern day. And I was torn myself between should I do this BR Blue or should I do this with the class 90s, or should I do it modern day? Diamonda did ask for modern day, so we're going to do modern day, but obviously just swap out the rolling stock, and this could work with a class 90 and coaching stock and all of the old 321s and 320s and 360s and all that would work just the same, so keep that in mind. And yes, so we'll get straight into it. The route is 68 miles long, which is on the longer side, but we've seen quite long routes in recent months, so I don't think this is too much of a stretch. It's pushing the boundary, but I think it's reasonable. It got 23 stations. Not all of them are shown on that map, especially between London and Shenfield. There are a few that are skipped because there are just too many of them. Maximum speed of 100 miles an hour, which can be achieved in a lot of the line. It's double and quad tracked. It's quad tracked from London to Shenfield, if I recall correctly, and double track from there all the way out to Ipswich with passing loops in places. I think Ipswich has quite substantial passing arrangements. The line is fully electrified at 25 kilovolts AC, I believe. Originally it was electrified at 1.5 kilovolts DC. I could be wrong, but I remember reading something that it used the DC system initially. And we're covering the route from London, Liverpool Street to Ipswich, not including Liverpool Street low level, the Elizabeth Line platforms there. But we are including Elizabeth Line services, as you will see now. So rolling stock, we have the class 720 Aventura in the top left, operated by Greater Anglia on their sort of more local services. And these are the sort of one-size-fits-all replacements for the 360s, the 321s. I think they had some 322s. And the older Mark III and PEP, so the 317s, 315s. And I don't think they had any others. I could be wrong, though. We've also got the class 345 Aventura, which are, the same family, but slightly different. They're, I believe, yes, they are longer and they've got 3 doors and slightly different cab layout, but the body shells are mostly the same. Obviously, they're from the same family, and they run the Elizabeth Line services from Stratford, because I'm not including the tunnels, from Stratford to Shenfield, stopping at all of the local stations in between. If you're thinking about this in a BR Blue sense, then you could replace the 720 for a 315. You could replace the 345 for another 315, but in sort of TfL rail livery perhaps. And you could replace the 745 with a class 90 in coaching stock. Speaking of the 745s, these run the express intercity services. They're built by Stadler. They're from the Flirt UK, I think they are. And they're interesting trains in their own way. Quite nice from what I've seen. I've never been on one myself. I've been on plenty of class 90 and Mark III rakes on this route in person. I used to head from London to Chelmsford quite a lot, but not anymore. I live on the other side of the world. Additionally, we can have class 66 freight layers and rail tours. Dovetail seem to be inclined on sticking the 66 in everything, so there you go. There's some free freight, and the rail tours, which they also seem intent on slotting in absolutely everywhere they possibly can. But we've got a decent selection of rolling stock. If you think about it, it's sort of 2.5 trains, not 3, because there's 2 Aventuras. But the 345s are very different to the 720s, especially the cab. They've been sort of highly customized by TfL to make them, to pull them in line with other TfL rolling stock. Timetable, there's 8 trains per hour on the Elizabeth line between Shenfield and Stratford, so that's sort of every 7 or 8 minutes? Over every 10 minutes, certainly. And they're run by the Class 345s, of course. There's 2 trains per hour express intercity from Ipswich to London on the Class 745. And there are many additional Class 720 runs from, if we come back up to the map, we've got runs coming in from up in Cambridge down into London Liverpool Street. There are also, I've got to mention, 745 runs from Liverpool Street up to, what is it? It's not Southend Airport, it's Stansted Airport on the Stansted Express. Other local trains that come out from Felixstowe and Lowestoft. And we could see as well, potentially maybe, like 150s and 158s from other operators layered in. I think East Midlands run services to Norwich, so we could potentially see that. And we've already got an East Midlands 158, so that could work maybe. It would sort of be cool to have older stock, because I know they still use 90s on the freight runs, but you know, we're running a bit ahead of ourselves now. And there are additional, I saw it because I was reading the timetable, there are some services that I believe couple up, if I was reading the timetable correctly. So there'd be a forecast set coming from someplace and another forecast set coming from somewhere else, and then they couple halfway through, which I know is possible because it happens on Brighton Main Line, so that'd be really quite interesting to see in this route. And yeah, other than that, it's a fairly nice route. More or less, it's not super interesting, but it's unique in its own way because it's sort of an intercity route, but it's not high speed. But yeah, anyway, I've been ranting for too long. If you have enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. If you would like to see more routes, if you have an idea for a route that you'd like to see, drop it in my Discord server. There's a channel called Submit Ideas. You can leave all of your route ideas there, and if it is good, if I like it, it might be next. Bonus if you can add a little bit of info just to sort of streamline my research, and so I can get the best quality out there. And thanks again to Diamonder for suggesting this one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.